We're going to cover a pretty fun topic, something that Ryan and I have been really excited to be working on developing and refining over the last few weeks. So if you're looking for new revenue opportunities, this is a good call to be on. If you're looking to grow your web traffic, this is a good call to be on. If you're looking to introduce digital to people who aren't technical, this is a good call to be on. We're going to cover a lot of stuff, and this will be recorded and it will be available. And I would love it if you post your questions, because the more you interact, the more we're able to just make sure we're driving home the points we should hit. Again, you can post your questions in the sidebar, and specific questions we can either address on the call or we can get back to you one-on-one in the chat. So today we're going to cover sort of a basic concept, which is addressing local needs, local business needs in particular. And we're going to talk about the things that we are working on and have been working on that get you moving further down this path. We're going to talk about what we call the 5-star reviews contest. This was first pioneered in our network, if you will, by South Lake Style just over a year ago. And we've taken what they did very successfully and we've packaged it up. So you'll see that here in just a minute. Tech Updates is actually not going to be on this, but I will refer to where you can find the videos if you haven't seen that email. Those of you who are regular attenders or have been watching the videos, you've seen me talk about this purchase model, this purchase funnel that consumers go through. And it's really a critical thing to understand, which is why I'm bringing it up again. It's very much consumer focused, and it's about how do I, as a consumer, meet my needs, improve my quality of life, and so forth. Now, businesses, local businesses, have a similar type of base need, right? Their fundamental need is I need customers to pay me for something so that I can continue doing what I'm doing. And as marketing has evolved, as media has shifted, things have gotten more complicated. And so today, if you look particularly at the web, although promotion can really encompass a lot of things, there are these 5 big buckets, right? Promotion is advertising. It's everything from billboards to TV to print to web. And specifically on the web, it would be things like banner ads, sponsored content, things of that nature. Now, we also know about sites like Yelp and customer reviews. They are the new currency of testimonials. Well, you need to be active in that. You can't bury your head in the sand. And so there needs to be the ability to monitor a reputation. Likewise, you've got listings all over the place, including your website. And people need to be able to be in control of those. But of course, there's limited time. So how do we address these? Loyalty and retention is all about, okay, I've got a customer, they like me. How do I keep them coming back, and how do I keep them happy? And then you've got your website and you've got SEO and social, and those 3 are very closely linked to one another. And so if you really want to meet an advertiser or local business's needs, you're addressing these areas. And so things that we've built, are building, or have relationships with companies who've built solutions are in play. And so I want you to think of it in these terms. And as you talk with advertisers, start thinking about how that connects with their base needs. We're going to talk a little bit about how we fit in with our directory. And we started off a long time ago with just the directory listing, and we've been expanding that, and we're really starting to transcend to be more than a listing. And what I mean by that is a lot of the updates that we've put in place and we're finishing up have to do with things like elevated prominence. So what you see on the right is a new module we'll be adding that you can choose where it appears on your homepage so that premium listings will be on your homepage. It's sort of a value add, almost like an advertisement. We've been putting in place more and more automation. The reviews widget, drop this on your website and you get a review, it will appear on your website. Likewise, we're just about to deploy our auto post to Facebook. So upgraded listings, you get a 4 or 5-star review, it will automatically go out to their Facebook page. It is about meeting the needs of local businesses, and there's more coming. So I want you to think of what we're going to talk about now, and I want you to really envision what you're doing now as the time to grow engagement. Once a business has a relationship with you and your directory and so forth, then we're able to offer them these things. It's critical that we drive advertiser adoption. Those of you who have 40, 60, 100 advertisers, they should all have premium listings. And you'll see as we go through this, an easy way to incentivize that. Of course, the spotlight adds to that value. The secondary adoption, that is local businesses who are not advertisers, they can be scaled. And a lot of what we talk about today will be driving that sort of engagement. The key is for you to really be profitable, you must leverage your unfair advantage. There are things we're going to talk about today that you can do that no one else can. You have to implement these to really stay ahead of the game and to drive home a lot of value. Because if no one else can do them, no one else will do them, and businesses will not benefit from them. So with that, we're going to start with an overview of the 5-star reviews contest. I'm going to have Ryan give a little bit of a kickoff to this, and then we'll go through how and what needs to be done to successfully run this.
Thanks, Brian. So the 5-star review contest is a way to drive advertiser adoption. And basically what it is you're going to offer some sort of prize, and we'll get into the details of what we can offer everyone for people. Let's say the business with the most 5-star reviews is going to win something. And you can also say, in order to incentivize the readers or visitors to your website, you can say something to say you'll get entered into a chance to win $100 cash just for leaving a review for your favorite business. We'll talk about why that'll work in just a second. But let's think about our objectives first. First, the whole idea of the community content engine, that's your website platform that your website's built on top of, is to get businesses and readers to interact in a positive way. So that's the first thing we're going to be able to drive with this type of contest. The next thing is we're going to drive recurring revenue, as Brian was just alluding to. You should have all of your existing advertisers on a premium listing. This will give them one more reason to upgrade to a premium listing now, and in fact we can even give them, say we're running the contest for 2 months, we might say, hey, sign up for a premium listing so that you can be more prominent during the reviews contest, and we'll give you the first month free. Here's a coupon code. So it's a great way to convert your existing advertisers into premium listings and drive ongoing recurring revenue. As we'll talk about in a little bit, there's an opportunity to sell premium sponsorships. I'm guessing a lot of your advertisers may not necessarily sell something but they provide some sort of service, whether it's a bank or a real estate agent or one of many other businesses. They just want to be aligned with the community and the values of the community. And again, since we're highlighting local and community and positive things about business, this is a great way for them to get involved in a contest without having to give something away. And then there's this other concept. There's a few web-only folks on the phone, so you'd have to kind of make this work for you. But there's a special advertising section in print that allows you to further highlight people and help them reach your audience. Before we move on to the next slide, we're going to talk about the resources we'll provide for you. Just wrapping up a template that you can use as a prospecting email to send to businesses to make sure that they know the contest is happening, tell them how they can get involved, and kind of upsell them on the different things that they can, premium listings and the sponsorships. We'll help you set up a contest page on your site with all the details, telling people how to leave a review, giving all the resources to the business, all that stuff. We've written a nice little intro article that you can use in print to announce the reviews contest and get people starting to get involved and leave reviews. And then we'll create some generic graphics and flyers that you can hand off to your advertisers and say, hey, put this banner on your website and post this flyer, in your store or, at your desk or whatever to help promote the contest. So that's kind of the overview of what the 5-star review contest is. Basically, it's a way to get everyone, consumers, readers, you guys, and the businesses talking and engaging on a meaningful level about the community, which is our ultimate goal.
And it's always nice when you can get businesses acting in their own best interest and promoting you, not just online, but also, as Ryan said, with some flyers in the real world, which is an elevation to your brand. So we'll talk for just a minute about what businesses get out of this, because I think often there's this misconception that, oh, that's nice that businesses would do that for me, but why would they actually do this? Turns out they're doing it for them, and that there's a number of prizes and benefits that they get out of this. I'm going to quickly hit on the benefits, and I'll have Ryan talk through the prizes as we sort of segue into the next section here. Having a great listing, a great place to send customers that is socially shareable is really valuable for them. And the fact that it's tied to your brand has more authenticity than, let's say, just on Yelp. And so there's a lot of nice attributes to that. But more than that, as you collect reviews through your site for these businesses, or more specifically, as they drive reviews for themselves, there's social proof. This social proof in the form of customer testimonials is really valuable. It's even more valuable when it, again, is on a site that has local affinity the way that you do. And so it's also a great way for them to expand their reach. You know, a lot of businesses don't have ongoing things to say on, say, social media. But if they're participating in a contest, they can ask for help. Hey, support us. Go and leave us a review. Hey, here's a great review from one of our customers. And all of a sudden, they're meeting that need that they have. Because again, one of the big constraints businesses have is time. And so you can help with that. And then there's strong alignment. Notice there's an overlap with a lot of these. A lot of businesses are, local businesses, local first, buy local, community values, and all of these things are reinforced through contests and activities like these. So there's a lot of benefits that the business gets out of it. And as Ryan talks about the prizes and how that's sort of delivered, hopefully you'll see the conceptual benefits with the practical source of those benefits.
Yeah, so the prizes could be, something simple. And really the idea of this is giving the person that puts the most effort into getting reviews and helping you build up your directory while they help themselves is added exposure with your audience, right? It always comes back to audience. So in this case, we're going to do the winner, the business with the most 5-star reviews will get a full-page profile in print. And I'll show you an example of that a little bit later. For the online-only folks, that would be a full-page profile on your website. And then the first and second runner-ups will be featured in some capacity on your website. It's probably not a full article. Maybe it's just a addendum to the bottom of the article online or a separate, smaller article online. However you want to kind of fit that in. But it basically incentivizes the businesses, hey, if I go out and really put some effort into this, I'm going to get, something that could be worth, upwards of $1,000 in print for free, right? That's the benefit you're giving. And from the print side of things, it doesn't really cost you that much money to do a one-page profile. You already are spending the money to produce the rest of the magazine. Adding one more page isn't going to be a huge deal for you guys. I've already kind of talked about in tools and resources. You got the reviews widget. They're going to have a listing on your directory, graphics and flyers. The really interesting part is what you can do to further incentivize them and promote their brand. So we kind of weave in some advertorial-like stuff. So you can say, for all businesses who collect at least 3 reviews, you can send us a 500-word article on what community means to you, and we'll post it on our website. Free content for you. Great way for them to share their viewpoint about their community and get added exposure as part of this whole process. Then you can say for businesses who collect at least 5 reviews, we'll also share it to our Facebook audience, either the article, a link to the article that they provide, or if they choose not to, maybe it's a link back to their premium directory listing, for example. These are different ways to incentivize the businesses to get involved. The more they do, the more they get. And it's free, it's promotion, it's great content for you, and it's kind of a win-win for everybody.
As Ryan's going through this and as we're covering this in general, I really hope that you all are realizing that we sort of put together a template, but it can be modified. You're web only. Great. You can highlight the winning business in a web article. You're in print. Great. You can highlight it in a print article. You want to do the top 5 runners up featured online. Great. This is, again, just a template. It's a guideline. When you look at things like the promotion, we're really excited about this. It's a further incentive, as Ryan said, to collect more positive reviews. Of course, you can use the insert link feature to link out to their directory listing. And you can, of course, use publisher discretion, right? They submit something that's not acceptable or written in, poor English or whatever, and you can say, hey, we need to make some changes, or you need to shave this from 1,500 words down to the 500 limit or whatever. But the point here is it's giving you tools, the tool set that you need to be successful.
So what do the readers get? Well, first of all, I mentioned you could do a chance to win $100 cash. Kind of just a random drawing. You're automatically entered every time you leave a review. Leave as many reviews as you want for your favorite businesses and win money, right? That's simple. But more than that, that's just kind of a carrot, right? Really, a lot of people feel very passionate about their community. Small Business Saturday is a huge event every year now. There's a lot of local groups, Local First Alliance. I'm not sure how big they are um, out of the Northeast, but they're a group that is all about local produce, shop local, shop small, that all that kind of stuff. People get really excited about that. So this is an opportunity for them to feel good about supporting their local community. Um, they're also helping themselves for the future, right? It's a great local resource. People are going to come to your directory looking for reviews now that they're aware that they're there, and they can, maybe they're thinking about what to do for dinner. They can come and check out the reviews for the local restaurant. Um, and then there's this concept of unique stories about their community. By soliciting those 500-word articles, you're getting different viewpoints of what community is to everybody, and that's really compelling content, right? It's different than what you normally do, I'm guessing, in most cases, and it's something that people want to read. So, you know, readers in this specific contest may get, the low end of the stick in terms of the actual monetary value, but they get a lot of intrinsic value in terms of what they're going to get going forward. And it also helps you. Obviously, I'm sure you guys see how these, what you get, what the reader get, and what the business get are all in the best interest of each other and the community. And that's why the contest is such a powerful thing. So let's move right on to what you get. I already kind of said it, but you get great locally focused content. You're going to drive engagement. And now the really fun part is let's talk about the revenue. You have an opportunity to get 1,500 or more in sponsorships, and I'll lay out how I got to that number in a second. We kind of expect that if you really go gung-ho on this, you'll probably get around somewhere 20 premium listings, which is recurring revenue for you going forward. It's the foundation of starting to build up your directory. And then the last thing is the special advertising section, which I'll talk about, I think, on the next slide. There's an opportunity to do 1,000 or more in advertising revenue, kind of one time in print or online. And what this really does is it highlights local businesses in a non-intrusive way. Right. We've talked about most of you on the call have gone through the training at this point, except for some of the new people that are joining us for the first time. You've heard me talk about advertorials and why those are so powerful. This is an advertorial in a sense. It's sponsored content that they're providing to you about their business. It's not salesy. It's entertaining. It's informative. It's non-intrusive to your readers. It's compelling content, and so on and so forth. You get people interacting positively on your site. Great for your audience. It's going to make your life easier when you go out and sell banner ads. It all kind of feeds into the same concept of it's all about the audience. You're going to let people know about your directory. And of course, this is a pretty big revenue opportunity. Brian, if you want to jump up to the next slide real quick. I want to just give you one quick example about how I kind of envision in my mind this would be laid out in print for the winner, the profile in print, and the special advertising section. And I kind of clipped this together from a few different magazines. But basically, on the left side, you see a profile with Matt Marshall. I believe he is the owner of a local theater. And, that's the kind of profile we're talking about to highlight, whether in print or on the web. The special advertising section is a way to upsell businesses that are getting involved with the 5-star review contest. So one thing we haven't really talked about is that could be a nice prospecting tool. You see people, you send out the initial email, you see businesses getting involved, sending you content, you can reach out to them and say, hey, in the next issue we're going to do this special advertising section right next to the winner's profile, and whether or not you get the most reviews, if you want to be included in it, it's $100. It's $200 per box. You can see there's 9 boxes on this page, and it basically includes an image or logo, a name, and I'll go through the rest of the details in a second. But the idea is, win or lose, they have an opportunity to be involved and kind of take advantage of the virality that will get built up by everyone promoting it and doing what's in their best interest.
I love these sorts of things because it gives you something new and different to bring up with advertisers, a new way to approach the conversation. And this doesn't undermine anything that they're already doing with you. It's really, again, as Ryan said, a new way to be involved with something, whether they win or not.
So bringing it all together, it's free to participate for both businesses and consumers, right? You don't have to have a premium listing. You don't have to be a sponsor. A business can go in and claim their free listing and start collecting reviews and compete to win the prize. That said, there's premium options. Let's talk about what that might look like. Contest sponsorships, you could have a naming sponsor. Let's say there's one available, and we'll say $600. That could include a push-down banner ad. Maybe you do an interview-style article online with a key member of their company, and you'll include them in the special advertising section in a prominent placement. Maybe instead of doing the 9 boxes like you saw on the previous slide, maybe you have one big box at the top for them and then smaller boxes for everyone else below. And again, as Brian said, this is a template, a suggestion, or a guide, however you want to think about it. You can make, if you don't like the idea of one thing but you want to, slot something else in there, feel free. If the prices don't quite work for you, that's okay too. Make them, take what we have here, use it as a guide, and make it work for you specifically. A presenting sponsor, maybe you have 3 of those. They get a sidebar banner during the length of the contest, and you'll include them in the special advertising section. For those that don't want to be a sponsor but still want to be included in print, $100 special advertising section. Like I said before, you get a logo, image, business name, address and phone number, website URL, and hours of operation. Everything's standardized. They're just kind of piggybacking on the winner's profile to get added exposure. And then, of course, you have the premium directory listing. Brian, at the very beginning of this call, started talking about, we're doing a lot of things to have more complete listings, right? So going from the free to a premium version means you have more options on how to make it look better, photo galleries of that. There's tools and automation that are coming along very soon. The auto post to Facebook. Businesses don't have a lot of time. That's a nice reason to upgrade, especially before you do this 5-star reviews contest, because every time you get a 5-star review, or 4 or 5-star review, I believe it is, it will auto post to your Facebook page. Now, not only are you collecting reviews, but you're sharing them with your audience. You're giving the publisher the ability to share them with our audience. It's kind of a win-win-win again. And as I mentioned before, you can offer first month free to get them to sign up as an added incentive for your existing advertisers, or anyone for that matter.
So a lot of information, a lot of pieces to this, but it is a puzzle. It comes together. They work together. It leverages all the assets that you have, from the website to your email list. We didn't specifically say that here, but you can imagine there would be a few emails that would be crafted, and they would utilize the graphics and the copy that we talk about. So we want to make sure that you all feel really comfortable with this. There is no reason not to run one of these. Even if you run a best of contest, this can run either in parallel or apart, but it's not one or the other. So we're done with this topic, covering at least the things that we wanted to cover. So what questions can we answer for you? What can we address? And I'm curious, just to make sure that everyone is awake and listening, what time of year would it feel best to run this in your market? Is this a spring, summer, back to school? How does this fit into your schedule? I'd love it if you'd post it and why in the question. So I'll pause for just a moment and give you a chance to do just that. So Sarah said spring or fall, winter and summer's a no-go. I know that you're in a college town. Is it mostly because folks head out of town and it's just generally quieter? And actually, I've just unmuted you, Sarah. So go ahead and let me know what you were thinking. Although you may be muted on your end, I suppose. She doesn't have a mic plugged in, so I'll paraphrase her post. She said people are forgetful, and sometimes miss that there's 30,000 people who live here year round, but that there's many who don't. So it's definitely a timing thing within the cycle there of the college campus. Who else? Is there a timing or a driver that would make this a better time or worse time of year? As you're typing that, I'll address Lisa's question. So she said, the winning business is one who collects the most reviews. Great question. The general recommendation is the most 5-star reviews over a given period. So you would probably run it over a 30 or 45-day period, and whoever collects the most 5-star reviews would be the winner. Now, our system does track who leaves reviews for which businesses, and you obviously have discretion to say that looks fishy or that looks whatever. So, don't worry about the gaming of the system, but yeah, the general idea is the most 5-star. And if there's a specific slide you'd like to see, I'm happy to go back to it. Mitch asked if we have any pre-built sales flyers or templates that we can modify and use on the sales team. I don't know if we have specific sales collateral. I know Ryan's going to jump in, but we do have a number of materials.
Yeah, Mitch, I am just about to launch this contest for one of our other affiliates, and as part of that, I am, building all the resources as we go here. This is an extension of what SelfLake did back then. We've expanded on it. If you remember back to the very first slide, I had, things that we'll provide for you. Those were a prospecting email to send to businesses. We may not have a specific sales sheet because what we found is we spend all this time creating them and then people want to build their own and put it into their own kind of style. But you can pretty much be able to take what is in the email template and use that same copy however you see fit. And if you would like us to help you with that, we're more than happy to jump in and try to build something with you.
And Mitch, you had a good follow-up question. You said previously you had mentioned that as our clients gain these reviews, they can share them on their own social media. Is that correct? If so, how does that work? The answer is absolutely yes. And as we've been continuing to expand our directory platform, we've been adding more automation. And so you're going to see over the next couple of weeks new material specifically for the directory, aside from this contest. But the idea here is that a listing gives you presence, right? So you have a free listing, you are present. You can collect reviews. If you want to share them, you do that manually. Our system notifies a listing owner to say, hey, you got a 5-star review. Don't forget to share it. And they're welcome to do that. As you upgrade, you start to get more prominent presence. You're showing up ahead of the express listings, and we're doing more automation. Oh, did you know you can link your listing to your Facebook page, and when you get the 5-star review, it will automatically share it for you. No work required. And so that is one of the big reasons to upgrade from Express to Enhanced. The next level takes it further. It gives you prominence on the homepage. So every time someone hits your homepage and we have that carousel in place, remember I was showing you this, it will have every premium listing, whether you have 5 or 500, and it will randomize their appearance so everyone will get their moment in the sun, although it'll alternate through as people are scrolling or looking at it. But the idea here is continuing to elevate the tools, the prominence, and the automation. And so that is the sort of the reason that someone would move from one to the next to the next. Some of the other features we're working on will be a la carte added to the various listings, but it would be a lower cost add-on for a premium listing than for, say, an Express. Again, we'll keep you posted there.
Brian, maybe you want to just pull up one of the staging sites and show Mitch both the reviews widget really quick. I know Mitch hasn't been on as many calls as some of the other people. Sorry to call you out, Mitch, but I want to make sure you see this stuff.
Sure.
And also the sharing, how to share a review, like the individual link.
Yeah, so let me find the local business services page. For those of you, we've updated some of our local.com site. So as you're looking here, you can see a reviews widget. So when you install this on your website, um, when you install this on your website, any reviews that you get show up here. And so the natural question would be, what about a negative review? Well, if you have an upgraded listing, only 4 and 5-star reviews will appear in the reviews widget, although all that are authentic will appear on your listing. So someone can actually go from On-Site PC's website to leave a review directly on, in this case, South Lake Style. But if I click over, I can go look at the reviews and I can say, okay, here's this one. On-Site PC Services delivers every time. Hey, that's a pretty compelling review. I want to share that. So I'm going to come in here and I click share review and I go to the individual review page. And so then if I click share to Facebook, you get this little pop-up deal. You get the logo and you can see the piece that's shared here. So lots of really good stuff that come out of that share. Um, There's also a small feature, just as an aside, that you can make a review a featured review. So if this hit on all your key talking points, it would show up at the top of everything, the top of your reviews, the top of your reviews widget. It gives the upgraded listing an ability to prioritize how at least one review shows up on the list. So lots of great tools there. And again, auto posting to Facebook would just happen automatically for those that are upgraded listings and then link their Facebook page, which is a couple step process, but pretty straightforward. As you continue to think on questions and post them, I want to highlight one other thing really quickly. Again, we are posting these videos basically every time we finish one up, we export and we put the agenda as the main image, and then we post them here. You should have received emails. There are likely videos you haven't seen. This is our entire history. And you go, well, what's in each video? Well, you can see it right in the agenda. And so you can decide which ones you want to watch and you can jump forward and back and so forth. Share these with your team, spend some time with them. This is, we think, really valuable. As you give us feedback, as you ask questions, it becomes more valuable. As you have topics that you want to address, and Mitch is posting questions that are slightly distracting to me as I'm speaking. As you have topics that you want to see us address in future calls, let us know. We want to make sure that these are really valuable. And even if you can't make one, or you have a salesperson that really needs to see, how to sell digital or whatever the topic might be, you can come in here and take a look there. So we definitely want to get people, as I segue back, we definitely want to get people creating their listings, engaging, using the tools, and you'll see more and more on our end to help equip you to do that and to deliver as people are registering. Any other questions that we can address before we sign off? All right. Well, hopefully this was useful. We really want to see you putting these into play right now. This is stuff that you can do in the course of your normal day-to-day activities. There's no excuse not to do it. It's really going to bolster everything. And the more engagement you drive online, the more useful it is for selling traditional ads. The more engagement you drive online, the more people who don't think of themselves as advertisers will start thinking, I want to be a part of that. So use it as a tool to that end. And hopefully we will see you here again next week. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Thanks.